Hi art friends! This week we're going to be learning about optical illusions. You've probably seen optical illusions before. Optical illusions can use color, light, and patterns to create images that can be deceptive or misleading to our brains. In other words, they trick our eyes and give our brains a mixed message of what is happening in the picture. Optical illusions simply trick our brains into seeing things which may or may not be real. I found some really neat optical illusions for you to look at. This first one is interesting. When you look at the picture, what do you see? Do you see a rabbit or do you see a duck? Can you see both? Look at this one. Do you see a vase or do you see two people's faces? Can you see both? What do you see here? Do you see a woman's face or a man playing the saxophone? In this optical illusion, the sphere looks like it's floating, doesn't it? See these dots? Look closely. They actually spell out words. The words are created by making certain dots smaller than others. Which of the blue dots is bigger? Can you tell? They're actually both the same size. My favorite kind of optical illusions are the ones that look like they're moving. I promise you, this one is not moving. It looks just like it is. If you see movement, the optical illusion is working. These circles aren't moving either, I promise. And these spirals, guess what? Not moving. Okay, this one actually is moving. If you stare at the plus sign in the center, the dots turn green. They're all pink dots. Isn't that weird? This one looks familiar. I want you to stare at the plus sign for 10 seconds and see what happens to the pink dots. Alright, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Did you see it? Did all the dots disappear? Here's another one. Okay, it's an elephant. Can you count how many legs it has? How about this one? Can you count the black dots? When you focus on them, they change to white. How? Optical illusion. The patterns in this optical illusion trick your brain into thinking that the circle is floating. In this optical illusion, the vertical lines in both images are actually the same height. The lines in this optical illusion are actually parallel. Why do they look like they aren't? Optical illusion. Alright, let's get to our project. We're going to be creating a very simple version of an optical illusion using straight and curved lines, a color pattern, and a little bit of shading. You will need something to write on, so paper, cardboard, whatever. Something to draw with, I would definitely start with a pencil, and something to add color with. You can use colored pencils or crayons. For this project, we'll talk a little bit about shading, so markers aren't the best to use for that, but if markers are all you have, by all means go for it. You will also need something that has a straight edge. I couldn't find my ruler, so I used this giant craft stick. You could use cardboard, a folder, anything that is straight. So let's go. First, put a dot somewhere on your paper. It doesn't have to be perfectly in the middle. Use your straight edge to make straight lines radiating out from the dot to the edge of the paper like a sun. Make sure you have an even number of lines. This is important for later. So I made 10 lines, but you can make more. I wouldn't do less. Your project won't look as interesting or be as fun. Next, we're going to make two kinds of curved lines in our project. Here's two math words for you. Concave and convex. Concave means curving inward, and convex means curving outward. So a rainbow, convex. A spoon, tricky depending on which side of the spoon you're looking at. So what I'm doing is adding some concave lines going around my dot. The confusing part is unless you turn your paper, your concave lines might look convex. Think about it this way. If it looks like it's caving in towards your dot, it's concave. If it looks like a rainbow over your dot, it's convex. Notice I'm skipping a section each time. The spaces in between will be the convex lines, and you will want to connect them to the concave lines. There you go. Doesn't look like much now, but I'm going to do another layer repeating the same lines. Wherever you put a concave line, put another concave line. If you get confused, check the line in front of it. Make it the same. Now I'm going to add the next layer, and I'm out of room, so I'm going to have to fill in the spaces and visualize that curved line connecting itself to the straight line. If you look at my design, you can almost see the illusion being created. I think the concave lines look like they're three-dimensional and popping out, and the convex lines look like they're sinking into the paper. You might see the opposite. That's the beauty of optical illusions. They trick our brains in different ways. I went over my lines with a Sharpie. If you have one, great. If not, no biggie. Remember, if you're outlining, turn your paper and pull your hand towards your body. It will make a nicer straight line than if you make your hand go away from your body. Alright, I'm just about ready to add some color. I chose two colors and I'm going to use the white of my paper in my design, but you can choose whatever color pattern or color scheme you want to use. You can use black as a color as well. When you color, start light. You will press harder later on. I am going to color in a strange checkerboard pattern. I find it easier to color a shape than skip a shape all the way around. I skipped a whole layer and I'm using the same pattern on the third ring out. Then I'll go back in with my second color and fill in the opposite shape. I'll show you some different ideas at the end of the video to get you thinking about color patterns you can use. Okay, ready for shading. I'm going to go in with my first color and press a little harder on the sides or the edges of the shape. This will create the illusion of a shadow. Do this on all shapes. I went in and tried to find a couple colors that were a lighter version of purple and blue to create the highlights. Honestly, if I could do this project again, I would color even lighter the first time around, so learn from my mistakes. Well, friends, I think that's it. I can't wait to see what you come up with. I hope you liked learning a little about optical illusions and creating your own optical illusion using curved and straight lines. Remember to upload your image to Artsonia to make it easier for me to keep up with all these beautiful artworks. I'm always here for you if you need my help. I miss you, and I hope you enjoy making art with me while we're apart. Bye!